we're back, and we have a friend. And y'all were heading towards camp, I believe. So yeah. Who wants to make camp move? I mean, you made your way to that treetop area, where it is possible to make camp in the trees.
What is the roll normally for make camp?
So it is. Let me find it. If everyone consumes a ration, you take +1. It's 2d6. And then if everyone consumes a ration, that you take +1. If you've got plenty of time and energy left in the day, which you don't, because you spent that time and energy cleaning up, you would take another +1.
Okay. I will. I could. I guess. Yeah.
Do we all have rations to eat?
If not, I will give you some. But please do not abuse Ike's charity.
Yeah. Bells has rations.
Excellent. What is that gun noise?
I think it's someone's phone is interfering with their microphone.
Ah.
It'll be like a text message or something.
Mm-hmm. So everybody's consuming a ration?
Yep.
Does Elsana have rations?
Cool. All right.
Yep. Got.
Brilliant. So we all consume rations. So then I roll 2d6 +1.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
Oh golly.
Oof. Right. A 1 and a 2 makes 4.
Yeah. Unless someone's helping you in some way with the making of camp.
Yeah, I think the other orc in camp would probably be helping out.
Yeah, help the orc princess.
How are you helping with the establishing of camp?
Well, I mean, I think first I need to know how Ike is setting up camp.
That's a good question. Yeah.
I think Ike I think Ike is setting up camp by singing a camp making song.
Okay, so I think Bells is moving around her various elementals in matching this song in a harmony of mantras, and they are picking up the various debris and various leaves and debris and forming them into a fireplace. So basically, Ike is, prancing around, doing the sort of work you'd see in a musical number version of making camp, while Bells is actually falling behind doing all the actual work to make camp.
Yeah. Let's find out if that's actually valuable.
Mm-hmm. So I roll another d6?
You roll another d6 to replace whichever one you like.
I will replace the 1.
Sure.
Yeah, it literally can't get worse.
Doesn't get us far enough, though.
It gets us to 6.
Yeah, that does not 6 does not a 7 make. All right, so well,
there it is.
Let me see what this is. Oh, I know what this is. I think this is you're not quick enough. I think the two of you, because you're doing all the work making camp, end up breathing in some of the mist that rolls in from the bend in the river.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that bend in the river.
That's what you're coming here for.
Yeah, but I forgot about it. The part where it's dangerous. So
each of you takes a debility of your choice, depending on how you feel you react to breathing in this, menthol, mist.
I am gonna take a debility to my intelligence for being tired and groggy.
Yep.
I think Bells is going to take a debility to her wisdom as she is distracted, because Bells isn't affected particularly by this mist, but her elementals seem to love it, and they are just going wild.
Cool. I like that.
Getting baked
But yeah,
on-
you
on
do
river juice.
you do manage to make camp after you've overcome that hardship.
And everybody heals 1d6
Cool.
because of my sing song.
Did anyone take?
2d6.
I don't think anyone's taken any damage. So,
Yeah, indeed. That's why I mentioned it. I think we're all good for damage.
Cool. But yeah, everyone has one camp action available to them.
I'm trying to think of an appropriate resource for removing the sluggish debility from a frog.
Salt.
Funny you should mention that, Ash, because I'm going to use my use of smelling salts to clear my what the heck was the sluggish debility.
Sounds good.
Yep.
That should be muted.
Elsana is probably just going to rest soundly and take +1 forward. 'Cause
That
she
sounds
doesn't-
wise.
Yeah, because she, doesn't really interact with other people a lot, unfortunately.
Sounds good.
I am going to expend a use of adventuring gear to say that the alchemist made a special frog balm
Sounds good.
for for Arnery, and she applies a frog balm to get rid of her debility.
Sounds good to me. All right. And then yeah, the night passes peacefully with a weird fixed vapor rub smell.
I'm gonna take the +1 forward.
Sounds good. All right. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, can we talk to our
Yeah, you can.
pixie friend?
His name is. I can't decide. These are too good. I can't decide if his name is Gunnelbert or Brunts.
Brunts, because it's a bit easier to remember.
Okay, his name is Brunts. Like, it's spelled like Bruce with an N in it. Brunts.
What do they do?
Yeah, he's I mean, he's a fairy. He doesn't he mostly is interested in like finding, he's very interested in like nice music and sweets and things like that, right? He's into those sorts of things. And he was captured. He's been captured for a long time because he doesn't need to like sustain himself, so he's been trapped in that thing for a really long time, as like a decoration in the thing. But he had quite a good relationship with the doctor, so he never knew the doctor's name, but like they were friends. And yeah, they
Friends, but still kept Brunts a prisoner.
apparently.
Friends don't keep friends in jars.
I mean,
Well, now let's not be judgmental about their relationship.
yeah. I mean, the thing is that like the doctor would show them, would be like, look at this cool thing, right? Like, and would always like be doing interesting things. So it was a very interesting place to stay. Like it's like it might have been a bit Stockholm syndrome-y.
It's like living in a zoo.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, they're like they're like while you're eating, they're like they like take like samples of people's rations and like, these aren't very good, are they? Blah. And things like that, and they're very into the songs of Brooklyn. Was it Stream and Brook, or they're very into the healing songs. They try and like he tries and joins in.
So a Disney princess has a fairy.
Yeah, but yeah, he thinks it's, he's happy to like sit and tell stories late into the night.
I listen to the stories.
Yeah, yeah, he definitely tells like stories from like he tells you a story about a time he went on a train. And you're
What's
like,
a
what's
train?
right? Exactly. And he's like, and he like vaguely describes a train and talks about the like the exquisite carpets and the leather seats and like the band that would play in one of the carriages and all these sorts of things. And then like and all of the people in their very fancy hats and all of those sorts of things. And then someone got killed on the train. And then there was a man with a mustache, with a very fine mustache, and
When I am one of the three queens, I will build a train.
and yeah, and Bruns is like, I would love to see a train again. That would be so nice.
So does Brunts mark 1 XP for sharing a story?
Right, exactly. Yeah. No.
Yeah, I should have taken the listen to a story option. I didn't
Yeah.
realize that there was going to be a story to listen to.
Yeah, but yeah, that's, and like, yeah, there are more tales. You know, deep into the night. A lot of them seem to involve murders, but like that's always like a side detail. It's always like, oh yeah, but like, you know, we were like I went you know, I went to this like fancy party and all of these sorts of things. Oh, and there was a murder, but that doesn't matter, right? Like,
And then the guy with the moustache showed up again.
yeah.
Mysterious
or this
moustache guy
little-
is very suspicious.
Or this little old lady.
They're working together.
Yeah.
Took me a second, but I got there.
Yeah.
Can I ask Brunts if they know anything about the either the water or the purple flames, like if they know anything about magical fires?
Yeah, I think Bruns mentions that like that the doctor used the water from this part of the river for several things. And as like there's a word that I'm trying to remember. Just talks about like I think Bruns is like, yes, because apparently the water colludes very well and has an excellent effacement and all these sorts of things, and you're like, is Bruns remembering these words correctly? But apparently it has a lot of very interesting chemical properties that will reveal that for the doctor revealed much about the meaning of water.
So they got high as shit off of the vapors.
Apparently there were a lot of like a lot of Bunsen burners and like glass vials involved. I think he definitely calls it just a Bunsen. He's one of those people that just calls it a Bunsen.
Okay.
Shall we find the morning then?
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, morning arises, and yeah, you're in this high ground, so you can see the river down and away, especially if you're up in the trees. It's not near, but it's like the it's near enough that the mist rolls in from here.
Can I ask Brunts to fly up and... Oh, wait, no, I can do this myself because I'm a weirdo. I'm going to animate my crow from one of my jars,
Mm-hmm.
and then my magic eyes.
The crow with the crow with the like line down the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my magic eye's still in the guy, so that's not going to work. Unless
But you are quite small.
Yeah. So I'm going to animate the crow as my assistant. So my other assistant falls apart, and the crow goes.
Mm-hmm. That's the noise it makes.
And then it's going to carry me into the air, and I want to look around.
Sure. That sounds like you are reading, discerning realities. You got 3 questions you can ask.
And you get +1 forward.
Yes, you always get +1 forward on acting on the answers of from the questions.
What here is not what it appears to be. In relation to the river.
Yeah.
Also,
the river isn't just bubbling and like roiling because it's white water there, right? It's not just rocks and stuff that's making it do that. I think you can see sections where there are bubbles coming up from underneath it.
What here is useful or valuable to me? With the goal of putting the fire out. What I'm looking for is a way to get the river to go to the fire, or at least the chasm that the fire's in, and then it will flow down the chasm.
Let me look.
If only we had some of that dynamite.
So, I think you can see that. I think you can see where that here the river runs like quite deep and not wide. It is carved deeply into the earth here. This is not a place where the river is likely to want to change direction.
So we'll have to overcome that. I'm not sure if this is what should I be on the lookout for or who's really in control here, but I want to look for signs of people. So I guess it's what should I be on the lookout for?
I mean, across the way, across the river, and like a ways across the river, I think you can see. I think you can see trails of smoke rising up from behind some like hills.
Okay, but they're not like on the riverbank.
Not nearby.
Cool. I rather ungracefully return from the skies and inform the party of these things. So the river it's not just rough, it's like bubbling from somewhere. And it's deep, and so it might be hard to redirect. And way over that way, there's someone living. Like there's a camp, another camp. So someone is out there, and they might use the river, I don't know, but if we want to redirect it, we're going to have to put a bit of effort in.
It sounds like there may be something interacting with the water, like the cause of this, you know, could be an artifact or something that could be moved, perhaps. So that might be something to investigate. With that said, I'm not sure how we safely dive under the water and search for it.
Could you in theory use underwater shadows and punt whatever it is up?
If we do want to redirect the river, we might want to head down or upstream as well, is a thought.
Well, actually, is this the closest point to the chasm?
No.
So,
We should head
well,
up
yeah,
upstream to the chasm.
we should try and find the closest point between chasm and river, and then start from there, maybe?
Well, I mean, wouldn't we want to be downstream, because that's the water that would be more likely to have the necessary properties?
The chasm is upstream from here.
True, but I mean, just having more water on the fire might be helpful. Magic water, awesome, but any water would probably be good.
I mean, it is magic fire.
Yeah, I'm not saying that mundane water will solve the problem. I just think that either way.
We
Just
can magic the
explode.
water later.
Yeah.
We just
can-
need to,
We can put blood sacrifices into the water to make it magical.
Just
I
a
mean-
magical steam explosion.
Henri can curse it, presumably.
Curse it to be really angry at the fire. I think we should wander upstream, and I will cast Second Sight to look for the anything magic in the water.
I would like to undertake a quest.
Tell me about your quest.
Okay, so as we are, readying our second sight and whatnot, I am going to undertake a quest to discover the truth of this magic river.
Cool.
I would like to have an unwavering sense of direction to the river's source.
Mm-hmm.
And I want senses that pierce lies or an invulnerability to something.
Invulnerability to the mist, or the damaging properties could be very
Yeah.
useful.
Can I have invulnerability to that noxious gas?
Yep.
Cool. The GM will then tell. Actually, I put this into the actual roll thingy so that I can hit it and it sends
That
it
would be
to me,
helpful.
hopefully.
Tell you what vowels.
Yeah. So the roll is irrelevant,
Mhm.
but the
Yeah.
text.
You can actually untick the roll thing so it doesn't.
Oh yes, you're correct. My bad.
That's right. Doesn't matter.
I'm gonna edit the formatting on that.
Oh, you have to wash every day.
All right. Sure.
And
So you become immune to the properties of the water, but you have to wash in it.
Yeah, I imagine
and-
that's how I'm beginning this ritual. Then I'm probably bathing in
Yep.
the water.
Yep.
And Henri, who is like a living mud pile, is like, "What are you doing?"
I mean, you're not at the water. The water is one progress away.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Oh,
I thought it
okay.
was in between two progress.
No,
In
it's-
between. Okay.
there is one progress between this campsite and the river.
Okay. Sure.
And that
Wow.
progress be kind of because we want to move upstream.
So yeah,
Like-
do you want to move towards the bend, the bubbling bend, or do you want to move like up, like basically upstream?
I think the bubbling bend, like that's
Hmm.
the most relevant area.
Sure.
Yeah, let's do that.
I mean, I can always find its the source of the river now. So if we decide to go for that route,
Yeah.
that's going to be easier.
Yep.
Is it white or red?
Yeah, it's a vodka source.
So, shall I lead the perilous journey again?
Yes, please.
Sure.
No, you haven't been to this particular spot before. You've been to this campsite, but you haven't been to the bend.
Well, we've been to the croc camp on the other side of the campsite.
You haven't been to the bend.
Okay.
Do we get any bonuses for Unri having seen it from above?
Nope.
Okay, +1 forward.
Oh, you get +1 forward for yes. Sorry. Which question are you acting on the answer of?
The water is deep.
What is not what it appears to be.
Yeah. Cool. You can navigate partially by the sound of the bubbling.
So we don't have a map?
No, because no one's been there to map it technically.
But we have hearsay to guide us?
You do have folklore and hearsay, yes.
Okay. And yep, okay. And then I get +1 forward as well.
Yep. Nicely done. I mean,
I'm going to state that I disassemble my crow, put it away, reassemble my lizard folk motorbike assistant.
your lizard folk motorbike assistant was destroyed. They were caught on fire.
I thought they fell apart because of the fire, and then I could put them back together again.
Or, I mean, they're pretty like burned and eaten up by the mold. Is my concern.
If I can take a skeleton, I can take a charred corpse.
Yep. Fair enough. Yep. Cool. On a 12+, you make 2 progress. You don't need 2 progress because you've, unless you don't want to stop at the bubbling bend. But yeah.
Look, I'm going to use 1 progress to get to the bend, look for magic things, and then go up.
Only if you don't take more than a minute. Like more than only if you don't take very long at the bend.
Yeah, I'm just going to look with a magic eye.
Sure.
I mean, the other place we could go from here is the signs of human settlement nearby.
True.
Or, I mean, not
Is that
necessarily.
one
Human
progress
is a strong word.
Yeah.
Is the settlement 1 progress away from the bend in the river?
Cammy would have to ask me. That as like part of the
That's
the
fair.
thing.
I cast magic eye. Is there a magic thing in the water?
This is where this is where like Dungeon World and like the way that I tell stories it's like kinda. I think with Magic Eye and whatnot, you can see you can very clearly see the rents in the stone and earth around here, where there is like some kind of like you can see the heat rising up from it. And then where there are and the bend is where those like cracks in the earth that have the heat coming up from them goes into the like intersects with the river, and so the water is going down into these cracks and interacting with whatever's down there, which is kind of magical.
But mostly just noxious volcano gases.
I would call it alchemical. How's that?
That's good. I'm gonna. So Ari kind of peers into the water for a minute with a magic eye. He goes, "Oh, it's just bubbles. It's not like a magic rock that we can fish out or something?
No, the magic rock is the ground here.
It's just stinky ground.
Okay.
It probably has a lot of very weird alchemical properties.
But it's not a magic rock.
It's not a magic rock that you can grab.
Right. So we're going to continue up river.
Yep. You want to
Towards
just
the chasm.
spend a
next
progress
progress,
moving up. That we can do. Cool. It is so. Yeah. By the time that it is getting dark. Oh, wait, no. This is only the first one. This is the first one of the day. So by the time it's like, early afternoon, you are in an area where it is a bit flatter. What's the word I'm looking for? The ground here is a little drier. The trees are a little more like there's more eucalypts and things like that. It's a little bit less lush in this area. But yeah, you come up to like your early mid-afternoon, like lunchtime break thing.
And the river is still pretty deep here.
I mean, it's not as deep as it was. It's not like it's not like carved through stone where it was down below. It's definitely getting less. It's definitely getting less deep. I think caught in some stones here. There is an old hat. With a it's a let me just check this. Yeah, it's a tallish black hat with a little like beak at the front. What's it called?
Bill?
Yeah, like a bill at the front, and then and then it has a big, and then it has a red feather on the front.
So like a marching band hat?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
It's called a shako.
Okay, cool, great.
It's a soldier's hat. I know the kind of soldier's hat that you're describing. I've seen one before. My character wouldn't know it, though.
Yeah, 100% a shako, yep. Thank you very much. But it's caught in the stones at like part of the river here.
Again with dead soldiers in rivers.
I think Bells looks at the party and signs bone and then zone.
Maybe. Is the river running like fast here?
Is the bit where it's like narrowed in is definitely like seems to be faster. It meanders here a little bit.
Can I use my frog powers to retrieve the hat?
Yes.
We use frog powers to retrieve that.
Yep.
I present it to Ike. This seems to be Ike's brand.
It's a hat. It's a bit water damaged. Actually,
it's also like really old.
Was it attached to anyone?
And like mud, like it looks like it was buried and then dug up and put in the river.
If only you were look at you and say, if only you had a bigger head, you could wear it.
I'm so sweet.
Because you like mud, and it's got mud on it.
We could clean it a bit. It's just getting it out of the river. So, what do we want to do here? What are we thinking? So it's like is it 2 progress back to the chasm from where we are? Does that make sense?
If you want to go to the chasm, you can ask me, and I will tell you how many progress it is.
If we were travel to the chasm, how much progress would it be?
1.
Just 1? Awesome.
So if we were to try redirecting the river, would this be a good place to do it? Like from the lay of the land and everything, would that be in favor?
I mean,
Discern some realities, maybe.
yeah, that's what it sounds like you're doing.
Okay.
You can't just ask questions.
I mean, you can, but sometimes you have to ask them formally.
So
I mean, I'm not sure that discern realities is the right role here. Actually, I'm sorry, Carrie, because you're actually trying to have the answer to a specific thing rather than just getting a feel for the area and investigating.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's actually a spell law.
Can I just use that same roll?
Yes, you can.
Okay, because it's a good roll.
Yep, that's fine. Is your intelligence different to your wisdom modifier?
Actually, I've got +1 for wisdom, so
that's an 11 rather than a 12, but that's still
Yep.
fine. Cool. So, spout law. On a 10 plus, the GM will tell you something interesting and potentially useful that will answer one follow-up question. I think you know that you're moving towards. I think you know that you are moving towards an area where, like, the river is getting less deep and more wide and whatnot, which means that that if it keeps doing so, as you move upstream, that would be a more appropriate place. You want the place where the river is the least cut into the ground. Where it's where the river is the least committed to its current path.
okay. And follow-up question: Is there is there a place where, like, around that area where it would require minimal effort to sort of keep, for the water to flow towards the chasm,
You've heard of a place where the river apparently moved recently already nearby. That is, so that's definitely a thing.
Ah, so the river moved from the bone zone to where it is now?
I mean, the bone zone is next to the river, but it was previously under the river. So yeah, if you were to, that's probably a prime location for redirecting it.
And how far away is that? If we were to take a journey from here to there,
1 progress.
should we do that and risk the adventure in between?
That sounds good.
Do you want to lead this one, Carrie? Because you're the thinking one in this time.
Yep, that makes sense.
Cool. Is the bone zone mapped?
Yes.
Cool.
So you can use your intelligence modifier.
Don't think you got any of the other bonuses. Because I don't think Elsana's been to the bone zone, has she?
No, she hasn't, and she doesn't have an intelligence modifier. So,
all right.
Yeah, I guess.
Is someone helping you with the navigation, perhaps?
Yeah, that would be nice.
Henri shows Elsana how to read maps.
Oh, so it's not just a picture. It's actually useful for something.
You're holding it upside down.
You'd been coloring it in.
Okay. All right. So 2d6 plus 1.
Yep. Wow, it's raining here.
I'm slightly jealous. It's hot as hell here.
Okay.
It's cold here, like cold.
Reroll the 1.
re-roll the 1.
It's cold enough here that I'm regretting shaving my head last night.
Okay, so that's a 7.
7. Very nice. So on a 7 to 9, the rain will try and drown me out. Gosh. On a 7 to 9,
Can't hear.
really, it's yeah. Whereas to me, I feel like I'm being drowned out by it. On 7 to 9, you can make a progress if you overcome a danger, or you can find a discovery.
I think we overcome a danger.
Sure. Let's have a look and see what that is. Do 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 do. Oh. As you travel down, as you travel through the forest, alongside the river, you can you keep an eye ahead of you, and then for a moment, your sense of like spook, the part of you that jumps at shadows, spots a great white heart standing in a sunlit clearing, watching you intensely.
A great white what? Sorry.
Heart, like a deer.
Maybe I
okay.
can use my Disney princess powers.
Yeah, just sing a song.
Also, I have a feeling that Brunts has left, right?
Ah.
Like,
Oh, just like in the night or
I
during
think
the...
I think he would have left in the night, right? Like, because Brunts is want to wander, right? Like that's
Just like all the men in my life.
there's a reason that he was in a jar.
Should have put a ring on it.
Oh, well.
Exactly, a magical ring of binding and enslavement.
Wow, that's a really negative view of marriage.
Sorry. Anyway, great white.
Depends on what you're into.
Great white heart standing in a clearing, and yeah, I think it's watching Elsana, and it's just like yeah, and Elsana, you're like, oh god, something's watching me. Oh god, there it is.
I'd like to step towards it, and I'm singing like, I don't know if everyone's familiar with this, but there's like a kind of, I think it's Swedish, definitely Scandinavian type of yodeling for summoning cattle out of the mountains. The music's particularly designed to echo around through mountains, and it sounds very ethereal, especially when sung by people in light flowing white dresses surrounded by fog.
Yes.
Ray, it's called a kulning, or
I'm gonna do some-
probably, yeah.
That sounds pretty
Looks
close.
like
I'm going to do some culning to try and summon the heart closer, to beckon it towards me.
Okay.
I mean, so I'm wearing a flowing white dress, just for the
Yeah,
record, and
so,
constantly
okay.
have a bit of fog around me.
We're ticking a bunch
And
of
I
boxes
could go.
here.
Ooh.
So this
Well, you
sounds
could
like
lips-
this sounds like a. So are you approaching, or are you trying to get it to approach you?
I'm trying to meet it in the middle. I'm trying to get it to parlay.
I was gonna say this sounds like a parlay if nothing else does.
Yeah, I'm willing to pull out a ration so that I have something over it.
I mean, the singing is probably the thing.
I gotta convince it that I am also a mystical
Yeah.
creature.
Why should it? Why should it? Is it should come to you because you're also a mystical creature? Is that the reason why?
I think it should come to me because I am a kind-hearted princess who wishes to know if I can help it.
Great. Sounds good. That sounds like a parlay.
I want to see if it has a quest for me. Yes, so parlay is just roll charisma.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'm good at this. Yeah, I'll take a 10.
Yeah, the heart approaches and like stares. Like, so how tall did you say you were?
Pretty tall. Tall for a teenage girl at the very least, but I'm small and shy. Like my frame is small.
Okay, so this thing. So can you
Have
give me like a
awkward
like a feet inches roughly?
I can give you meters and centimeters rather. I would say I'm probably like 180 or 190 centimeters. So it's probably like 6 feet. A little bit.
Yeah, beanpole. Yeah, so like you meet it eye to eye then.
Yeah.
Because it's tall as like it's huge.
Small for an orc girl.
Yeah. But yeah, it's huge. And so yeah, you meet it eye to eye, and and like yeah, it approaches and just stands there. It doesn't like nuzzle you for treats or anything. It just is like waiting. Like I'm ready for you too.
I am Princess Aiki O'Brooke, and it is a pleasure to meet you. And I bow low before this thing.
It nods.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to bow low and then gore you with a forward charge.
Look, I mean, I've got tusks. I could give it a go.
But yeah, it nods in respect.
Is there something you wish to share with us? You seem to be watching from afar.
I think its eyes turn to Elsana again, and like as in like, and then looks back to you as like, have you seen that thing?
I look at Elsana. Yeah?
Elsana's just holding still, keeping quiet.
She's nice. Did you want to meet her?
He cocks his head and takes a half step back.
No? You don't want her to come closer? I can bring her closer if that's what you want.
It takes another half step back.
Okay,
Elsana
I'm
also
not gonna
starts
bring her closer. It's fine. It's all good. We're fine here. We're chill.
It slowly walks. And I think now was the point that you realize that there's like, that the clearing it's in is surrounded by small like wiry ash trees, right? Lots of quite small trees that are like no larger than like a few inches in diameter. They're all young growth, and they go from this clearing out across the river, and like into and there's like a grove across the river, and this grove basically bridges the river and contains this clearing, and it kind of like half trots up to the edge of the river there and stands proudly at the like edge of the edge of the line of ash trees.
I'm going to walk with purpose towards it.
Yeah, and it like it's like
Yeah,
nods.
yeah, it's showing me its domain clearly.
And then it like turns around and has a drink.
I will also drink from this river.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I didn't. Okay.
I know courtly protocol. I think that's probably the kind of stuff that that Aiki is repeating to herself. It's okay. You've practiced for this your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be one of the 3 queens. You can do this.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, and I think it looks at you and like takes a step back and puts a leg out and like lowers its head and like gestures, like as if the river is like a path and just like welcome.
Ah, excellent. Thank you kindly.
And then it just turns back and stares at Elsana.
She is useful to me. Would you allow me to bring her with me? I will take full responsibility for any
This sounds like another parlay.
mistakes. Yes, I think so.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So just roll.
Why should it let Why should it agree to this?
Why should it agree to it? Whether she makes whether she displeases the heart or not, I will give the heart my favor, which it may call upon as it sees fit.
Excellent. Roll that parlay.
I'll take a 9. Unless anyone wants to help.
I literally cannot without making it worse.
You would make it worse.
I think Bells could help.
Mm-hmm.
She is going to walk over towards Elsana and just sort of wrap her up in the elementals so she's out of view.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yep, that count. I'll accept that as helping.
So I roll another d6.
Yep.
I'm just trying to see the breakdown of the roll. I don't know what.
Oh, mouse over it.
Ah, there we go. Oh yeah, I rolled a 1.
Yeah.
Sure. So I'll re-roll that 1. It becomes a 4. So
Excellent.
yes,
Good job.
It's like 12.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it allows you to pass through, and it will remember remember your name, Princess.
I
Ikea
have a charm bracelet that is my holy symbol.
Mm-hmm.
That is made up of stars made from meteorite iron. I'm going to pluck one of them off and take a bit of thread from my cloak and tie it to and put the star charm on.
You hold it out and it like loops its horn under it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I tie it on tight so that now we are connected. I hope
I
that
really want to.
I hope our two kingdoms will prosper.
I want to kill it and steal
Please
its body.
don't kill my political ally. I'm going to need the nature spirits to take back my kingdom.
Okay, I was going to use it as a workhorse, a zombie workhorse.
Different approaches to different kinds of problems.
Yeah, different problem solving.
We'll leave you with your Disney princess.
Thank you.
Story.
Thank you kindly.
Carrie, you're wrapped up in. Sorry, Elsana, you are wrapped up in shadow elementals. They whisper to you in a variety of voices. What is it that Elsana fears in herself that one of them speaks to her of?
Of losing control.
Yeah, it's just like it. So one of them just whispers to you. It's so you spend so much. You work so hard to keep yourself from reaching your full potential. If you just let go, so much would. If you just you throttle yourself, you strangle yourself. You're dying. Don't you see it? All you have to do is let it go.
By the way, I think the one that says this speaks in a monotone and claws aggressively at the other elementals to get through to Elsana.
Oh. Yep.
I will try to ignore the voices. Just try to maintain focus and.
That sounds like you're defying danger with wisdom.
Okay.
You, as far as you can tell, you block it out and you walk along this path with the others, wrapped in these things. The stag, the heart stares, like watches, and then turns and like looks significantly at Ike as the leaves near near the path that Elsana walks turn bright orange and red. But yeah, you make it through.
Okay.
Aki, do you have any thoughts on that? Okay, cool. Shall we take our next break there?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay. Sounds
Alright.
good. Yeah.
And we'll be back in a minute, chat.